Welcome to my first retro computing / gaming video. This is my 1987 IBM PS2 Model 30 8086. I've upgraded the CPU to an NEC V30, which is pin compatible with 8086, but includes some 8186 instruction sets and runs noticeably faster depending on application. I have not yet added the math coprocessor, which I might do in the future, I don't know yet. Another upgrade I did is this XT-IDE compact flash adapter with a 64 megabyte compact flash card, which I plan on upgrading to a 4 gigabyte, which I'm going to partition into two gigabyte partitions because that's the max that it can handle on MS-DOS 6.22. And that's because it didn't come with a hard drive. Instead, it came with two 720K floppy drives, which I'd like to keep because they're original. The reason that I have the case cover off is because the XT-IDE I got, you have to have the case off to take the compact flash card out, and then I use this, which I got on eBay for about $5, so I can plug it into my modern machine and copy software back and forth. If you're going to get one of these XT-IDE cards, I recommend that you get one that you can take out through the back over here. The one that I got was the cheaper version, so I have to keep the case cover off, which exposes it to dust and other stuff like that. Then in the second slot here, I've got a HMC HM86314Q VGA graphics card, which has 256K video memory and works amazingly. Makes it run a lot better. And the third slot down here, I've got a Labway A151A00 sound card, which has a Yamaha chip in it, but I can't get it to work. I don't know if it's because of the driver or if I just don't have the right settings, or if it's just not compatible. So that's something to work on in the future because I really want sound in this machine. The machine comes with 640K RAM max, and over here you can see that's the NEC V30 chip right there that I replaced the 8086 with. Right next to there is a port for a math coprocessor, which I'm probably going to install in the future. It has minimal effect, but it does work with certain applications to make them run a lot better. Another thing I got at the thrift store was this floppy drive reader right here. It goes to USB, so I can try to transfer files from my modern machine, and that will help with certain programs. But I haven't tested it out yet because I don't have any floppies, but you can buy the floppies still because these machines are still in use in medical applications, so they still make the floppies. There's one company online that you can get them from. I'll see if I can look that up again, and then put that in the description. Of course, you can see my Commodore over here, which is in need of a little bit of love, but it's running great. There's the front of the machine over here with that cool red power switch. And it has a long metal thing that goes to the back, flips it on and off. There's the power supply. Here's the back of the machine with the VGA plugged in, serial mouse, serial keyboard. It does come with the MCGA, which does 256 colors, but it runs extremely slow. So the 256K on the VGA card makes it run a lot better and looks a lot better. And I got this awesome trackball mouse at the thrift store, which is serial, and I love it. So let's go ahead and power the machine on. I've installed MS-DOS 6.22, which is the latest version of DOS for this machine, and I've also installed Windows 3.0 Multimedia Edition, which only runs in real mode is what it's called. There's real mode, standard mode, and I forgot the other mode. But it only runs in real mode because it's an 8086, which means that it doesn't do any sound, but I can get the screensaver to work. Maybe because of the NEC V30 chip, I'm not sure. Because the NEC V30 comes with 8186 instruction sets. So yeah, let's go ahead and power it on. You get to hear the satisfying click of this big red power switch. Gonna go ahead and count up the RAM up to 640K. And my battery on it is this little barrel one. You can see that yellow thing down there. I'm going to swap that out with a CMOS battery. So right now it's asking me to press F1 because the clock isn't working because of that reason. And that's the BIOS from the XT-IDE, starting MS-DOS. Alright, let me go ahead and fix the screen a little bit. There we go. Alright. Now, of course, DOS works just fine. Got a bunch of games installed. But let's go ahead and show you Windows 3.0 Multimedia Edition with no sound. And the sound wouldn't work even if my sound card was working because it doesn't support it with this version of Windows. If you have an 8086, it would work with a 286 or a 386. For some reason the mouse driver didn't work, but the mouse works anyway. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. So, go ahead and at least show you a screensaver. I tried to install the Arkanoid screensaver. It wasn't working for some reason. I'm not sure why. Let's see. Main. Control panel. Alright, screensaver. And here's this one's pretty cool. It's kind of psychedelic. Melt slime screen. Got it on melt mode. And it just kind of looks like the screen's getting deteriorated slowly, and you can adjust those settings, of course. Kind of trippy looking. Then it has some other, like Starfield Simulation is classic. This one's pretty cool. Just feels like I'm back in high school all over again. Although I had an 8086 back in the day, I had no idea it was capable of VGA and sound and all that stuff. I just thought it was a piece of crap. Until I got a 286, a 386, a 486, a Pentium. But anyway, so all that stuff works. Here's another cool screensaver. And I think the math coprocessor would help with things like this in 3D and maybe even with sound applications, because I do plan on trying to make some music with this thing eventually. That's why I got a sound card with a games port / MIDI port, but can't get it to work, so I might have to get another sound card. Alright. And a lot of the stuff doesn't work. Like fonts doesn't do anything, color doesn't do anything. But I mean, this is pretty amazing for an 8086. Of course, you got like all the standard Windows applications, and this is a lot like Windows 3.1. Let's see what else here. Of course, we got Solitaire. And it actually works pretty well. A little bit slow, but not too bad, really. It's really playable. Of course, you can go into DOS mode, play some games. There's File Manager. But a lot of the games don't really work because this computer is so old. They don't really work in Windows because it's taking up so much memory. But if we go back out, back into DOS mode, I can show you some cool games. I got, of course, the classics, Duke Nukem, Jewel of the Jungle, which is one of my favorite games. Arkanoid is pretty cool. Prince of Persia. I'll show you Prince of Persia real quick, even though I suck at it. Still learning the ropes of that game. I think it's Prince. There we go. And so it's going to use the PC speaker because I haven't gotten the sound working. Sounds pretty good for a PC speaker. I mean, it's pretty obnoxious if my wife's trying to sleep. Let's see here. See if I can remember how to do this. Nope. There we go. Hey, I didn't get hurt. That took me a while to figure out. Go over here, there's a guy that chases you, and you don't have a sword yet. Get the hell out of there. Anyway, that's Prince of Persia. And if you reboot, it doesn't do the wrong RAM check again. So you can see here, 256K display memory configuration. I will show you Bio Menace because that game has SVGA instead of just VGA, which doesn't really make much of a difference as I can tell, but it's a slight difference. Just nice to take advantage of. Let's see. B-1, there we go. Oh no, okay, SVGA compatibility mode enabled, but now it's saying EGA up there for whatever reason, but it is in SVGA mode. And of course this is a classic Apogee game. Apogee makes tons of awesome games. And that's where IDE Software split off from, or IDE Software. And I just got the shareware version for now. I haven't beaten it yet, so that's no big deal. I mean, I think I beat it when I was a kid, but that was a really long time ago, so who knows. I do have a game saved. I believe it would be this one. Let's see if I can get it to show that a little bit better. Alright. No, there's no sound for some reason. Oh, I think I turned the sound off. Let's see here. Wait, let's see. Control panel. Let's turn the sound back on. There we go. PC speaker. Another thing I want to get is once I get a sound card that works with that game port, then I can play with joystick. And there's certain games that you have to have a joystick, like Spy Hunter I think was one of them. There we go, there's some sound. I don't know how to get past those things without getting hurt. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, this looks really good for an 8086. I was really surprised. When I was a kid, I could never even dream of an 8086 running this good. And I think I will show you guys what it looks like with just the MCGA mode enabled. For the MCGA mode, basically you can use a VGA adapter, but you have to break one of the pins off. That's the only difference. But yeah, I'll go ahead and plug that in and then show you. So I don't know if you can see that really well, but basically I just bent the pin down so that it doesn't connect. It probably isn't the best way to do it, but it works. And then of course on the other side it's just regular, because I'm going to plug it into my modern LCD monitor, which just has a regular VGA port. So in order for me to use the MCGA, I'm going to have to pop out my VGA card. Otherwise it's going to try to use the VGA card instead of the MCGA card. Well, it's not a card, it's built into the motherboard. So here is my VGA card. Don't know the brand name, it's just got HMC I guess, but it's just like random numbers. It's a 16-bit card, but it does work in the 8-bit slot. Alright, so let's boot it up now with the MCGA, which I didn't know was a thing when I was a kid either. I thought there was just CGA and it sucked. Also, there's another thing that's composite CGA, which I heard about from the 8-bit guy, which pretty much nothing supports, but it's a thing that does exist. So there you go, we're counting up the RAM now. 640K OK. It doesn't have the thing at the top anymore that tells you that it's got the, it says TVGA, whatever that means. guess it's somewhere between VGA, SVGA, Hercules. I don't know exactly. Alright, so one game that I know that will work with MCGA is Dig Dug. A lot of these games don't work with MCGA. But Dig Dug's another one of my favorite games. Shows you how old I am. There we go. MCGA graphics. Do I want full color? Yes. I do not have a joystick. Up, down, left, right, space bar, one player. And see, it looks a lot better than CGA. Of course, horrible PC speaker sound. Brings back good memories though. Let's see if I can not suck at this game. So this looks more like 16 colors instead of 256, but it's not a whole lot that supported MCGA, I'm guessing, back in the day. It's probably a very short-lived thing. And these were supposed to be business machines. They weren't supposed to be gaming machines. This guy's trying to get away. Can't let that happen. Here we go. So that's the IBM PS2 Model 30 8086. As you can see, I'm just using a modern keyboard. It has a Windows key, which is completely useless on this. I wish I had an IBM Model M, which I had several back in the day, but I had no idea they'd be worth so much nowadays. That's why I got this one over here, my DOS keyboard. German engineered, made in Texas, or something like that. Texas engineered, made in Germany. I don't remember exactly, but it's got the full clicky keys, mechanical keyboard. No key rollover, unlike most of these gaming supposedly mechanical keyboards where they just have like a few key rollover. But I like to play the game Descent, and I like to use a bunch of keys all at once, and if you use one of those gaming keyboards, then you get errors. But anyway, this keyboard costs as much as a Model M does nowadays. But yeah, so thanks for watching my first retro gaming, retro computing video. I hope to make more of these, and hopefully it came out alright.